Sup everyone, we are back with more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Time to kick things off where we left off. So I put it to you again. You attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. It really is a shame about Mr. Sholmes' cup. It must have been smashed when Professor Mikatoba opened the chest. Oh dear, so many things seem to have been broken here. But now the deduction has taken a different direction. Iris doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore. In other words, her great secret is something else. Let's put our observational skills to work here one final time then. Let me save first though. Shame that I wasn't able to finish in this last time, but I'd rather not go over an hour's worth of content on an investigation. Well, I know what it is. Are we gonna get any funnies from this, or is it just gonna be the same? Probably the same. Surely this time, at last, the knapsack is going to be the answer. I'm really not sure why you're so intent on showing Iris's bag to be complicit in these events. Because it's a sizable bag big enough to carry things around, Miss Naruhodo. That's what bags are for. So, the knapsack might never see the limelight, you mean? I really wouldn't like to say. I'm doing it anyways, just to make myself feel better. If Iris is attempting to sneak away with something else, then she must be hiding it somewhere. And as far as I could tell, there's really nowhere else she could conceal it besides in that bag. Perhaps you'll allow me to offer an opinion here. As far as I can tell, much like that bag, your deduction doesn't hold water, my fellow. I wasn't suggesting she was trying to make off with a bag full of water. Indeed, that would be madness. And this isn't madness. This is Sparta. We were very nearly taken and completely by Iris then, weren't we? It's rather charming that you could be deceived by a 10-year-old girl, I think. I don't think it was only me. No, you're right. I think what Iris is hiding must be the bag she has on her back. Don't you? No, you already presented that and took a penalty. I don't know why you're taking a penalty when we aren't in court, but what? The coffee cup. Mr. Sholmes' favorite cup. Or what's left of it. Just the handle. It was obviously hurled into the air along with Professor Mikatoba. If only it had been this cup that had caught on his finger before it hit the floor. Yes, but anyway, whatever Iris is trying to hide, it's clearly not this handle. Don't tell me what it is and isn't.
Take that!
Yes, it's Mr. Sholmes' coffee cup. That's what Iris is trying to leave with before anyone noticed it was broken. But she doesn't appear to be making any attempt to shield it from view. I didn't read what he said, but I assume I'm getting a penalty. Oh, there it is. This should be the last thing, so I don't think I even have to reload for this one. Case file. Ah, look, there. There seems to be more papers there. How many times can you say there? Is Iris trying to hide them underneath the tray? The insignia, Mr. Naruhodo. It's an official Scotland Yard document. What? But why would Iris have? We must ask her. An official Scotland Yard document? Oh, not much else to it. Yoink. You were attempting to abscond with that case file. Iris, as you know very well, nothing escapes the attention of a great detective. But I did all the work. We visited Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory earlier today, and Dr. Gorey informed us that the autopsy report of Clint von Zeeks had gone missing. I'm breaking the fourth wall to look at the screen during this flashback. Clint von Zeeks. Yes, I do seem to recall. Some years ago, I asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris? I... You mean it was you, Iris? So those papers you have there are... I'm sorry. Forgive me. First time I've ever seen her cry. And it's probably not going to be the last, assuming we actually ever tell her the truth about her dad. Anyways. Deduction complete. Elementary. Also, I just realized they have a unique background here because Sholmes doesn't have his hat. Interesting. In truth, I would like to have thought I could have predicted the booby-trapped chest. But it caught me completely off guard. I was very nearly the late consulting detective Herlock Sholmes. I'm sorry, Hurley. So you mean this autopsy report really is... Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I knew it was very important. Was there something in it that troubled you, Iris? Not exactly something that troubled me. Something I'd been looking for. When I saw this report, when I saw the writing in it... Oh, is it her dad or something? I knew it was Daddy's. The writing? Your father's writing? What do you really mean? Iris? Must be something that's hard for her to talk about. Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellows. Mr. Sholmes, what is it? I feel as though the poor unconscious gentleman on this settee has been somewhat forgotten. Ah! Father! Perhaps we should find our guest somewhere more peaceful to rest. Mr. Narhodo? Yes? Would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? We must do our very best to make him comfortable, I feel. Oh, yes, of course. I'll help you carry him up. So will I. No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy. We wouldn't want Iris's brew to stew. Alright, oh, Annie's just gone. Just like that. Because there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs like a trunk. Oh, poor Professor Mikatoba. His back is going to ache when he wakes. Then again, his stomach probably aches as well from getting punched by that boxing glove. I wonder. Perhaps that was deliberate. Maybe Mr. Sholmes is making himself scarce to give Iris the chance to talk more freely. Oh. We must use this opportunity to talk with Iris. Yeah, we got lots of shit. And find out what's going on. Alright. Let's get right to it then. Your daddy. Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father? I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Hurley's partner. Yes, and that notes about all the cases they solved together are kept inside that metal chest. That's right. Hurley told me, you see. He said that Daddy's somewhere far away now, so we can't meet. That's one way of describing it. Well, at the time when she was told, it was probably the truth. Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build up a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like. Well, that's only natural. You're just like any other girl of your age. I read that Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too. Well, that's only natural, I suppose. Maybe not at the age of 10, but... In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, though. But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name. Ah. His name wasn't anywhere on any of the notes that he'd made about his work with Hurley. But then one day... That's what happened, is it? When you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out. Is that right? Yes. So it was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye. When I saw the writing on that report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting, I thought to myself. Because it was the same as the writing you'd seen on your father's case notes. Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report away. And even worse, I was told that was the first and last time we'd be allowed even to look at it there. So you decided to steal it. When I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had here, there was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same. It was Daddy's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report read Dr. John H. Wilson. So that's how I finally found out. I learned Daddy's name at last. I see. Ever since then, I've called myself Iris Wilson. And that's also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with Hurley. I decided there and then that I'd write the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, Iris, I had no idea the stories had quite such a deep personal significance for you. I can see why the autopsy report was so important to her now. And why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it. Damn. I must apologize, Iris. This is really all my fault. Hurley? I made a promise, you see, that until the time was right, I'd keep the details about your father a secret. I know. I've been very naughty. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Gorey and apologize, I promise. Yes, we'll go together, I think. Then, well, let me look after it for you until we get there. Final victim of the infamous professor. Huh. I must go and water my herbs, I think. I'll see you all later. Poor girl. Poor Iris. She must be feeling awful. I know Mr. Sholmes is here for her, but still. Ah! What? How? What's the meaning of this, Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Sholmes? Oh dear me. So, you've noticed, I see. Notice what? I want to see this before the game tells me. Coroner John H. Wilson. Victim Clint Von Zeeks. Male, age 33, British. 31st of May, 9 a.m. and midnight. Death from a single stab wound to the heart. Other superficial external wounds indicative of a duel. Additional notes. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no documented corresponding ink was found. Autopsy findings. Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. What are they freaking out about?
But that would mean...
What on earth's the matter, Mrs. Sato? Turned as white as a sheet.
It's this autopsy report, Mr. Naruhodo. The one from 10 years ago. The writing isn't Dr. Wilson's at all.
Huh? What do you mean? How could you possibly know that?
Because I know this writing very well.
You're shitting me.
This writing, it's my father's.
What? What? Professor Mikotoba's? Indeed, it's true. And now you know, my dear fellows. No, I don't know anything. What on earth does all this mean, Mr. Sholmes? Because the idea that's slowly forming in my mind is just too extraordinary to believe. Please, you have to explain. Autopsy report writing. So, this autopsy report was actually penned by Professor Mikotoba then? That makes no sense. It's not possible, surely. Not possible, my dear fellow. Pray take a deep breath and think again. And don't call me Shirley.
Yes, you're right. In some ways, it actually makes a great deal of sense.
It does?
10 years ago is when my father returned to Japan after his extended study tour in Britain.
And prior to his return, where was Dr. Mikotoba engaged? Of course. He was an assistant in Dr. Wilson's laboratory learning about forensic science. And as an assistant, he would have aided with the dissection work and making detailed notes, which would be assembled into the full autopsy report. Once the work was complete, the head coroner would check the contents and put his signature on the document.
In other words, the only writing of Dr. Wilson's in the report would be his signature at the end.
I see. So Iris got the wrong end of the stick, you mean? She saw that and assumed the whole report had been written by Dr. John H. Wilson.
Which is very understandable, of course.
What a complicated situation. Signed by Dr. John H. Wilson, who carried out the procedure, though Professor Mikotoba actually penned the report. Interesting. Thinking about it, most of what we know about you, Mr. Sholmes, comes from the published stories of your exploits.
Yes, The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, written by Iris.
And we really have no way of knowing what's fact and what's fiction. Most troubling for you, my dear fellow, I'm sure. So what about this supposed partner of yours? Did he really exist or not? Ah, you've come straight to the point, I see.
And please come straight to the answer.
I believe Iris explained it in one of her installments. He was a trusted comrade and the only person I could truly have called a friend. What does that make us, chopped liver?
Did this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Are his notes really stored inside that metal chest?
Absolutely, my dear madam. Absolutely. So, where's your partner now? We rarely meet. You see, he lives on the other side of the world. he's gotta know that he's dead, right? There's no way Sholmes of all people doesn't know about the fact that he's frickin' dead. But if this autopsy report and the records of all your old cases were penned by the same hand, and if the autopsy report was written, though not signed, by your famous partner, there would be only one logical conclusion. Pray impress me. Your partner would have to be Yojin Mikotoba. In other words, Miss Usato's father. No way. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? You are coming along wonderfully. You have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasp the art of deduction. Are you telling me we're frickin' right? You mean to say... Allow me to introduce you to my great friend and partner, Mikotoba. What? What? You're shitting me! What the shit are you talking about? You're Wilson? Watson? Whatever? So, it was all a frickin' fabrication. So, okay. That still means that... Sorry, my mind is... The gears are turning. Okay, so does that mean that Iris's dad has to be dead still, right? Like, the guy that died in case 1-1 in the first game was still Iris's father. But this guy... No, that can't... I'm so confused. Is Iris Japanese? She doesn't look it. Was the name just a coincidence? Or is this just all like some fabricated joke that Sholmes is making up right now? I can't think straight. My mind is crumbling from the inside out. How the fuck do I make heads or tails of this? I think I'm actually just having a mental breakdown over this shit. What the hell? Ah. Oh my god, I'm just spinning in circles. I can't even progress forward with this plot right now. Okay. Are these questions for later? Should I just drop it? God, I don't even know, man. This is insane. This plot has gone from like a 20 out of 10 to like a 50 out of 10 all of a sudden. Oh my god. Dude. I was not expecting that. Oh man. Also, I love this new music, but I'm just so blindsided that I can't even pay attention to the new music. Oh, Jesus. I just tried to get a sip of water, and I'm so flabbergasted that it have the drip down my shirt. Professor Mikotoba! Oh my god, what the fuck is this game?
Does this mean that you're the real Dr. Wilson?
No, my dear. I'm still my old self. Yojin Mikotoba, your father.
Oh, of course.
I'm so confused. This is obviously too much for Susato-san to take in. Bro, it's too much for me to take in. I think I'm more freaking shook than Susato is. I must say, though, how my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity as a great mystery solver is the greatest mystery of all. I still remember the first time we met. Pray remind me, which was it again, Mikotoba? 16 years ago, Sholmes. Ah, yes, quite. 16 years ago. These two really do fit side by side, though. As hard as it is to believe, it's also very believable at the same time. I was not expecting this game to go for this type of plot twist on me, if I'm being truthful. So, does that mean that the person... So... Oh my god. Let me get this straight. So, Iris's father is dead in Japan, has the name of Dr. John H. Wilson, but the truth of the matter is that the person standing on the left here is the actual supposed Wilson. And the rest of this is just like, I don't know if it's a cover-up or what, but this is like insane. I cannot make heads or tails of this. Give me a sec also. I gotta let the cat in. And back. Oh man, this plot twist came so out of left field, it's not even funny. Like, oh my god. I just arrived from Japan with Seishiro and Genshin. I was in search of lodgings close to the hospital, some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price. But rents are devilishly high in that particular area. That's right, so I decided I needed someone to share lodgings in the expense. And was fortunate enough to be introduced to Sholmes, who found himself in a similar situation. I was a callow fellow back then, a mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. I was working at the hospital's chemical laboratory at the time, indulging my curiosities for little gain. And the situation of our cohabitation led to us pursuing cases together, you see. Hard to believe it was a mere 6 years. We had a great many adventures. But in the last year Mikatoba's stay in Britain, that most infamous of cases presented itself. That case with which you become rather familiar yourselves, the Professor killings. After the trial, Seishiro and I were summoned back home. Hardly surprising given the circumstances. So there you have it. And as you know, all the details recorded by my trusty chronicler remain in the metal chest. This is just amazing. Professor Mikatoba really is Mr. Sholmes' famous partner. Holy shit.
Father?
Goodness, my dear, what a cutting look.
As your daughter, I'm very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But nevertheless, there's another mystery that I really must ask you to explain now.
And that is...
You know very well what it is.
Man, it's like she's an angry mom finding the kid with his hand in the cookie jar. And her own father is the kid.
The unresolved matter of Iris's father.
Ah, of course, I'd almost forgotten about that one. Yeah. I should have seen this coming, I suppose. Yeah, this is a part we need to know. I mean, all of this we need to know, but this is, like, top importance.
Iris told us that all the notes about the great detective's adventures that are in that metal chest were written by her father. Isn't that correct, Mr. Sholmes?
That is indeed what I told young Iris.
But if you're Mr. Sholmes' partner, father, and you wrote all those case notes, then Iris's father must be you.
Ah. Upon my word, Mrs. Soto. You are coming along wonderfully as well. You too have hit upon the method at last. No fucking way. You finally grasped the art of deduction.
Are you telling me that
Are you telling me that fucking Susato and Iris are like half sisters? Well, that must be a lie. Because even Mikatoba is taken aback on that one. What you've always told me, Father, is that my mother died when I was born 16 years ago. And you left me in grandmother's care whilst you embarked on your study tour of Britain. And I've always accepted that. But all this about Iris. Oh, there it is. Susato-san's ice-cold stare. No, now, hold on a minute. It was very complicated. I mean, it's really not what you think. Then perhaps you'd like to explain exactly what it is. There it is. You had the ice go from ice cold to red hot just before she... No, really, you've got the wrong end of the stick. Shom, say something, man. Uh-oh. Why is he dressed up now? That's quite enough, my fiery fellows. If you get any more red hot, I'll have to throw you in the fireplace. As kindling. Mr. Sholmes? When did he get all dressed up? Oh, while the father and daughter were arguing. Whilst I don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past, Mikatoba and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion. But it's very late, Mr. Sholmes. Where must you go? Why, my dear madam, is that not obvious? My partner and I must pursue our natural enemies. So, get your coat, Mikatoba. The game is afoot. What is this music? But Sholmes, I really must give Susato a full explanation, I think. Later, my dear fellow, later. Our carriage awaits downstairs already. This has got to be one of the best songs I've heard in this series. You haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really, I visit our home after 10 long years. And when I open that chest in a fit of nostalgia, I quite inexplicably pass out. And as if that wasn't enough, when I eventually regain consciousness, I'm plunged straight into all this. Father, please, go with Mr. Sholmes now. What? I have no doubt that whatever happens, you are acting in everyone's best interests. I trust you. Completely. Wait, that's Sholmes' theme. Yo, they put Sholmes' theme in this? That's nice. Whatever this theme is, I love it. Susato. And sending the great detective and his great partner off on renewed adventures together is more than I could have hoped for in my wildest dreams. Very well then. We'll speak again later. So, I believe your own work is done for the day. I wish you the best of luck for tomorrow. Yes, Naruhodo. Good luck in battle. And in reaching a decision. A decision? About whether to go back to Japan, I suppose? Bro, Mikatoba, can
So much happened that day that I barely knew what to do with myself.
I was gonna say, Mikatoba, can both myself, aka Ryunosuke, and you stay here in Britain? Because we got one more case after this, and I want you to be around for it, buddy.
It would only be later that I'd come to realize how amidst the chaos I'd unleashed were all the clues I needed to finally unearth the truth. And that all the turmoil was necessary to give me the resolve to see everything through.
Resolve, he said the name of the game.
Oh, man. To be continued? End. Damn. Dun 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 dun. Save complete. Uh, uh, what? What? What the fuck do you mean, final? What do you mean? What do you mean? Dude, what the shit? I thought we would have an entire other case. What? The last two cases are fused into one? No way. No way. There's no way. Oh, I'm so oh my god. Okay. Do I end things here? I'm only at 35 minutes in this episode. I don't know if I want to jump right into things or... shit. You know what? Well, no, we'll do it now. I'm only at 35 minutes. Final chapter. So, the first and final... These are part of the same case. I wasn't expecting this to end so soon. What the hell? Start from the beginning of the episode. Let's do it. Final chapter. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. We're not getting the usual preamble? November 3rd, 9:14 a.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. This music! Oh my god! They remixed it! They remixed the song for the finale! Yo, that's sick. Oh, this new instrumental. Yo, I am ascending right now. So, the time's finally come. Today, we unravel everything. You mean... Sorry, this music. I just have to listen for a second. Okay, we're good. It looped. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Miss Usato. So, this entire case is gonna take place in one court trial? Is that it? Like, it's only this day, and we're probably going to have, like... This has got to be, like, an extremely long case, though. Or, like, an extremely long trial day, if we're going to be doing it all in one go here. She looks real sad. Or real somber. I don't know. Miss Usato? Ah! Great start. Oh no, what's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? Nothing. There's a saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but... I'm so sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down. Well, you certainly let me down already. Actually, no. First you put me up, then you let me down. Would you mind helping me up to my feet, then? Oh dear, I'm really very sorry. Oh, man. Gonna feel that one in the morning. Oh, wait, it is the morning. Haha. Usato-san isn't her usual self at all. That's hardly surprising, I suppose. She's just found out that her father is the partner of a world-famous detective. Not to mention... good morning, sir. Ah. Lord Van Zeeks. Thank you for all your effort yesterday. What? Did I hear that correctly? What? No, nothing. Just, I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday.
Lord Von Zieks isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo. It's kind of what we're going out of our way to prove, is that he isn't.
Good point. The Reaper? I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all this.
But you're not to blame for that, Lord Von Zieks.
It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason.
What do you mean?
There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. That having been slain by that evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod. I could not read that for shit, I am sorry. To wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not. Yes, we've heard that story too. When I lost him. I felt as though I lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Even if I knew it was just an illusion, just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public.
He was obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint Von Zieks.
Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see it in your eyes. That burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are loyal with absolute integrity. Thank you. Damn, that's a compliment coming from him. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Iris. Oh, Iris, when did you get here?
Oh. I brought you one of my special blends. Headley loves it. He says it helps him to clear his head.
I thank you.
Oh, hee.
That's surely the first and last time I'll ever see a sight like this. There's a very funny difference between a child with like sparkly eyes and big old Von Zieks over there, who's a freaking mountain of a man almost, with just his dark pale expression. You seem different today, Iris.
Oh?
Sort of subdued, I suppose.
I am not.
What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Seitz's laboratory.
Alright then. Good luck to you both.
I wonder what type of...
I have to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying?
I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings.
Well, I'd like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready.
Get ready? For what?
Oh yes. Would you take this?
Isn't that one of the little felt dolls that's usually dangling from your knapsack?
Yes, it's a lucky charm. A little Hurley that I made once.
They'll never give me Lucky Charms. Hurley? Looks more like a Hairley to me. But, shh.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in this trial today, then just pull this little Hurley's ears as hard as you possibly can.
What? Pull his ears?
That's right, it's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it.
There's gotta be something in it. I'm told to tug its ears if I run out of options in the trial today.
You think what we'll need is luck? I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom, and it seems very different to normal.
Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. Well, what does that mean? You'll see when we get to know.
What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night and he hadn't come home by the time I left this morning.
Well, we know that him and Mikatoba went out to work on some type of case. We just have no idea as to what.
Oh, I see.
Or at least I assume it was a case. Was Professor Mikatoba out all night too, do you think, Miss Susato?
Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all.
They?
Father and Judge Jigoku, I mean.
Oh. Judge Jigoku too?
That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday.
So that means we were the last ones to see him.
Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once.
Good luck then, Reno. Good luck, Susie.
Yes. Thanks, Iris.
And you, Mr. Reaper. I hope it goes well.
Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing.
Oh, I'm so glad. We must go inside now, Lord Von Zeeks.
Oh boy. Lord Van Zeeks has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend, Kazuma Sogi, who I trust more than anyone else in the world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. And we will open the gates to that reckoning next time on Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Adios, ciao, and bye-bye. Signing off until next time. Ja, matane.